In this video, we're going to be looking at the 888 portal, the energies that are coming in, some of the insights from the channeling that I've done, that I've been given, what that actually means, what that's going to look like, how that's playing into and with the energies that already exist, and from Sundays or Mondays, depending on where you are in the world, full moon. So let's get into it. Hi and welcome to Oaklaw Door. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Claire Attio. For those that are returning subscribers, thank you. And the 888 portal, the Lionsgate portal, which for me is, there's always a lot that comes in. There's always, I have a great affiliation to that, and it's not so much about the portal. I think it's the alignments. There's a significance, and it was interesting because of the information that came through when I was meditating, that I was channeling, and then I was kind of looking up and going, well, what does that mean? What does that bit mean? And what does that bit mean? because I'm, I take in the information from divine, from my guides, but I'm not a scholar, and so I have to go and check, and then I have to kind of sit with what we find, and that's a key point, is to have that discernment. Well, the information that we find, also sit with that and go, does that resonate? Is that true? Because you have to remember, a lot of the myths and mythology and existing esoteric information that we have at the moment is not come from facts. It's come from prophecies, it's come from fables, it's come from word of mouth, and in that word of mouth there has been differing interpretations because we have had different life experiences on differing time cycles, and so we do need to use that discernment. But it was quite interesting for me because the first thing that Spirit showed me was the fact with this portal, this 888 portal, what they actually showed me was the calling in of the 5 elements. And I just kind of like, and I was in communication with my team, and I was like, right, okay, how does that work? And obviously Leo, fire energy, because it's in the zodiac of Leo, it's that portal, and we've got the earth there. So we've got the earth and the fire on the go, and that is our kind of physical vessel. It's very interesting because I always think of earth and fire, and I've discussed this with the water and fire is learning the dance, learning to waltz with the elements in unison. So we've got that Leo, we've got the earth, we've got the Orion's belt, because the portal is the alignment of the planets astrologically, and Orion's belt comes into that. And for me, Orion's belt is all about the communication. And so we can attribute that to the element of air because of that communication and because of its connection to Orion being, and this was the bit that got me. Orion being, if you look at the mythology of Orion, he was a bit of a Casanova. If he had been allowed to continue, when we look at the mythology, to be the rampaging hunter, and he was very much a masculine energy and very much in that narcissistic. If you look at the mythology, he was very much into those narcissistic traits of the masculine. He was completely on the other end of the spectrum rather than being in balance, which is why he was tossed off by Zeus off into heaven after committing so many atrocities. He was tossed up into the heavens, which is why we have Orion's belt. And then obviously we've got the planets, the star, I should say. I always think of it as a planet. It feels like home to me. But the star Sirius, and those are in alignment. And Sirius is all about death and rebirth. So we can attribute that to Scorpio, and Scorpio being the water sign. So we've got the elements there, and then we've got the 888 portal, and 8, obviously, when we pop 8 on its side, it's a sign of affinity. It's a sign of Christ. So we're bringing all those elements in, and no more so than this year. That was because this occurs. It's cyclical. It occurs every year, but it's this year there is, and I know I put a video out a few weeks ago where I started tapping into the energies and started saying that there is going to be. We've been focused on the divine feminine, and now we're focusing on the divine masculine. And it's interesting because one of the things they actually said, they said it will be felt before it is seen. And I was kind of like, right, okay, what does that mean? And I meditated a bit more and communicated a bit more. And it's there's going to be, especially with a lot of the other alignments, planetary alignments. And if you want to get into the astrology, I am no astrologer, so go and watch somebody who is adept at astrology to give you all the information about the different planets. But I do know that where they are, we are definitely seeing a lot playing out. And the 8-8 portal last year was all about that transition, going into the new and being asked. I remember coming up to the Lionsgate where we were being asked to release the bags, and what I was shown was a bridge, and we're walking across and we're just kind of letting go of our emotional baggage, our ancestral baggage, and being encouraged to do the ancestral lineage this year. And a lot of people have been doing that. A lot of people have kind of, I mean, we never stop healing. We're always constantly learning, growing, ascending. So that in that we're constantly healing. But those dysfunctional aspects of ourselves, many have done that work. And so they were then able to focus on ancestral healing. Again, last year, if there were lots and lots of really big energies that came in, massive energies that came in to create big shifts, but we're just starting to see them play out on the physical planet, in the physical realm now, as we're coming to the end of that cyclical year and moving into another one. And it really feels that this portal is going to be the same as that. We are going to have these monumental energies come in, and we are going to integrate them. We are going to feel them. And when we look that we just had on Sunday, Monday, depending on where you live, when you watch this, that goes out on Tuesday, we've got the full moon in Aquarius. And Aquarius, again, is that masculine energy. It's reaffirming that masculine energy. And when we look at the strength card, which is it's number 8 in the tarot, and we've got that infinity. I believe it's number 8. Anyway, correct me if I'm wrong there. In the major arcana, but you've got the divine feminine with an arm in the mouth of the lion, that masculine. it's almost like a way shower. That's the only way I can describe it. That's what it feels like from what I was seeing. Was the divine feminine has been the way shower, and now it's for us to step back. We can't do healing for them, the same as they couldn't do it for us, but to step back and hold space so that the divine masculine can find their place. And it's interesting as those words come through, then find their place, because if we look at society over the last 2 decades at least, the masculine has been very displaced as the feminine started to rise, as the feminine started to assert herself and balance out those energies. And always when we're balancing, we're up, down, and we can go too much the other way and too little the other way. And of course, whilst we were doing that, whilst we're learning to create the balance of the divine masculine, divine feminine within us, and give that feminine equal space, an equal voice. In 3D reality, how that played out was the masculines underwent a displacement, felt a displacement. They couldn't do right for wrong a lot of the time, let's be honest. And, hands up, I've been guilty of that as well. I'm not, as I was kind of going through the process, there were times that I've undeservingly bit heads off, let's put it that way. And it wasn't intended. It was just learning how to assert myself without being aggressive. And I think we see this very much in the younger population at the moment, is that there is a lot of aggression out there in the world because they are learning how to be assertive without being taught mainstream how to emotionally regulate themselves. And this is why emotional intelligence is super, super important. That full moon is going to bring with it, because of the planetary, again, go and have a look astrologically wise, but there's lots of planetary alignments around it that is going to mean that it is massive release. I mean, full moons are always about release. They're always about transformation. The same as new moons are always about planting the seeds and new growth. It's going to feel a lot heavier. If you need to take time out, if you need to rest, it'd be a really good time to be very introspective as well, and sit there and kind of co-create with your team. Okay, what do I want to put out into the world? What is going to bring me joy? What is going to bring me peace? What is going to bring me passion? What is good? Because remember, Leo is all about that passion as well. So what is going to bring me passion? Bringing in all those elements. What is going to give me emotional contentment? What is going to allow me to express myself? The air. What is going to help me stay grounded? The earth. So bring on all those elements. And then with the 5th element, how can I co-create with the divine to be of service, to leave a legacy? And that service will look different for everybody, but it's about fulfilling your own needs whilst being of service. And this is where we're going. And this is a lot of what the pushback is at the moment, because when we all start to step into sovereignty, when we take nothing at face value. And when I say that, I hesitated then, because what we don't want is, we don't want to be cynical. We don't want to be coming from a place of fear, but we want to be able to step back from any piece of information and take a breath and use our discernment for what is right for us, our beliefs, and where we are on our journey. When we start to do that, we can no longer be controlled. We can no longer be manipulated. We can no longer be herded, which is very much what's been going on for centuries. And that is why, for the first time in documented history, we have the powers that be very concerned, because more and more people are starting to awaken to themselves, awaken to their soul essence, and the fact that there is no lack. Lack is a human perception, not a universal reality. I said that back in 2021 for the very first time publicly. And let's just say I've had energies on my tail because they didn't like me saying it ever since. There is a lot coming through. There is a lot more that could be said. I gave a message last week, I believe it was, where the message that came through from my team was to advise everybody, because obviously I can't tell you what to do. We all use our own discernment and we do what feels right for us. Where my team was saying, please put out an advisory that as our pieces of the puzzle start to come together and we start to see a greater totality of who we are, what we're supposed to do, that we sit with it, we master it, we understand it, and we do not make it public, we do not share it until we can fly with it. And that is very much the same as what's coming through with the messages that are coming from the Lionsgate. There is going to be, can I say that? Okay. We are going to see, as always, some ish. It will be made to look much worse than what it actually is, and it is bad. I'm not going to sugarcoat this, because some of the things that are going to unfold in the world, it's dark. It is dark, but it's going to be dramatized in the sense of, okay, if there is going to be disclosure over this, let's make it so dramatic nobody wants to see it, to hear it. And so it can come up to the surface as it's supposed to, but in that trying to control that exposure, what they will actually do is they will overexpose it so that those that are sensitive will back away from it. Be aware of that. I'm the first to say don't watch mainstream, but there are certain aspects of the journey of humanity's evolution and the phase that we're in that we do really need to open our eyes rather than turn the other cheek. When these disclosures do become public, don't turn away from them. Don't make yourself ill over them either. Don't expose yourself so much that your vibrations drop. Just keep dipping in and out, but keep yourself aware, keep yourself alert, because in some of those, in 99.9% of those disclosures, there will be information that will help you go, ooh, and it will pull in clarity to some of the experiences that you have been subjected to over time. Now, that could have been when you were younger, it could have been when you were in teens, it could be now, it could be a possibility for the future, if we're aware of it, if we've got that information. But what I've been told, what I've been shown, is when these disclosures are brought out into the public, they are going to dramatize them in such a way that if you're sensitive, you're not going to want to watch it, you're not going to want to see it, you're not going to want to hear about it, because it is so dark. My guide is saying, if you can, just keep dipping out, keep yourself informed, because in that being informed, you will get enlightenment on aspects of your journey that have made absolutely, up until that point, no sense whatsoever. The Lionsgate portal, we always say 888, that's when it's kind of fully open. It starts to open on the 28th, and then after the 8th it starts to close down, and it closes again on the 12th. That is when it's open and close. The energies that come through from that portal stay with us throughout the years. Last year's is still playing itself out, and it will intermingle with this year's coming in. It's that snowball effect, and what we want to do is keep that snowball rolling. We want it to pick up momentum, we want it to expand, we want it to grow. The other thing that came in for me, there was really I had to sit with it for some time, but it's very much in connection with this, because, and I'm still a little bit unsure, I will need to do more meditation, but they weren't showing me, and again, it could be one of those things that, no, we don't disclose all of it at the moment, but the little bit that they did show me, I am allowed to disclose, is I was given the number 998. And when I was kind of looking at that, I was thinking, right, okay, then the 99, is that the September portal? Is that the 99 portal in September? The 9th of September could be and hold importance. Again, it was given to me just as I was kind of coming out and I was getting prepared to do the video, so I haven't had a chance to look at that. I don't know what the astrology is there, whether there are some important planetary movements, but the 998 was what I was given. But when I also looked it up on a biblical sense, and it was interesting because it tied in. Let me see what it said. Just bear with me a moment. Oh, it's not going to show me it now. Okay, let's put that there. It was interesting because it was talking about, because I instantly felt, okay, this has something to do with the Christ consciousness. I don't know what the angel number is, and I haven't got my phone. I apologize, otherwise I would recommend checking the angel scribe and seeing if that resonates with you, the number 998, and see what, I mean, obviously 9 is all about kind of wrapping up, completion, but we've got 998, so it's, take from that what you will, use your discernment what that actually means to you. But when I actually looked up what 998 was, it did come up with the Strong's Hebrew, and it said, behold the fear of the Lord, and to depart from evil. It was interesting. The Lord is my helper, I will not be afraid. And there it says, and again it says in another book, it says, so that we may boldly say, the Lord is my helper, and I will not fear what man shall do unto me. And I thought that very poignant with the rest of the information that came through. And the fact that when we step into our soul sovereignty, we are no longer malleable, we are no longer being herded, we stand in our own power. The Lord is my helper, and I will not fear what man shall do unto me. I know with some of the things that's been going on for the past few years with me, my anchor has been my faith. Now, I'm not saying to you that you have to have the faith in any religion. What I'm saying is faith in yourself will anchor you. If you have faith in a belief, faith in the divine, faith in Christ consciousness, faith that humanity will continue to ascend and that we will create peace on earth, which is a very big thing that is coming through. Peace on earth, that is what we're working towards. That is a very big aspect of the 8-8 portal. Where's your faith? What's your anchor? Make it your anchor. Be unshakable. Because when you're unshakable, you cannot be manipulated. If you've liked the video, press that like button. If you've not yet subscribed, then hit that subscribe button, and I shall see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.